Mm-hmm.
We're live.
So, needless to say, it's been a pretty garbage day. Oh God, I've got this like work problem too. So these people do the Salesforce thing, and the way that they do it is they deploy these XML files, but like it's the old way, and it's like hard to even get the exports of these customizations from Salesforce now because Salesforce switched to a new way of doing it
Hmm.
that's like a million times better. But they're still using the old way, so it's just a fuck ton of like merging these XML documents by hand to then test these customizations that I can't test without doing like pull requests in Git. So I have to like merge this shit, then do a pull request, get the pull request approved, then the automatic deployment has to happen, and I get a log file of any potential problems, which because I'm hand merging XML documents is happening all over the fucking place. It is a goddamn nightmare.
It sounds like it. That
And it would be
sounds
like a ton
terrible.
easier if I could just export all the customizations at once and then like use WinMerge to just look at the files and then see. But they have so many customizations that you can't just export it without the service timing out. So I can't. It's a goddamn nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, uh, I have my hotel room and flight booked for my first work trip
When?
uh, in the middle of birthday.
Oh.
Well, birthday month.
Oh, that's not
Uh,
bad.
the
Like, but not your actual
17th.
birthday, right?
No. The 17th through the 22nd. It's a Sunday through Friday.
Is this the one in Texas?
Yeah. Yeah. So,
I listen.
I'm gonna see about seeing some people while I'm down there. I've got an aunt and uncle that live not
Mm.
too far. Aaron Head is in the area,
Mm-hmm.
and so is Art Santos. I
Mm-hmm.
think he's in that area, unless he's moved. I'm pretty sure he's in that area.
Oh,
So
well, that's goddamn exciting.
yeah, yeah.
Well, Tony, Del Taco, Texas.
Oh,
All Del Taco locations. I don't think there is one in Texas. There isn't one in Texas.
wow. I mean, that kind of fits.
That's what I thought, but I wanted to confirm that.
I mean, that does kind of make sense.
Yeah,
I have a feeling there are really good Mexican places that I can eat in Texas.
probably.
That's going to be my
Probably.
supposition that I'm going to go with.
Probably.
I will ask the local folks what they prefer. I tend to just take the locals at their word at that point. Either that or hitting up uh, the diners, drive-ins, and dives database.
Yeah, that's also a really good place, though.
I did that when I drove to Cincinnati, like right before, actually not right before, like a year before the world ended, um, to go to a concert. And on the way back, I stopped in Louisville, and like there was this place, I don't remember the name of it, but it was like this, it's like soul food Cajun seafood place. And it was on the
What?
diners. Yeah, it was diners, drive-ins, and dives. Uh, like I drove into the neighborhood, and I'm like, I'm very pale for this neighborhood. Like I was the white person that was in there the entire time I was having lunch. During lunch hour, people are coming in and getting like bags of food. Like you don't just get like a plate, you get a bag of food.
Yeah.
The food was just incredible, just absolutely amazing. That's the kind of little victories I like when
Yeah.
going on trips like that, looking for the kind of the out of the way places. Not, I try not to eat at chains if I can help it when I'm traveling, just to enjoy.
I mean, I will between cities because
Well, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not doing. I'm not
While you're
fussing.
driving,
Yeah.
while you're driving, it's one thing. Though I've gotten to the point now where between here and Murray, I do look for different places to eat because I'm really sick of that one McDonald's that's just right off of Rend Lake that I've eaten at more times than I can count. Because it's like it's 8 o'clock at night. I still have an hour and a half to go. I'm hungry. I just want to get home. Yep, that's where I'm eating.
Yeah.
Because that's the only place between here and home. And we're at an hour 15 now.
I don't drive down that away very often, but when I do, it's the Culvers, not too far south from there,
Yep.
because that's where the supercharger is.
Yep. I can see that.
Yeah.
There's a in Paducah, there's a Sam's, which Kentucky has really cheap gas anyway, like compared to Illinois. So I always wait till I get into Kentucky, and then my dad told me he's like, yeah, go to Sam's because they have even cheaper gas. Okay. So I started doing that. It's not too far off the highway. There's this place called Just Hamburgers.
What do they serve?
Turns out the hamburgers are really good.
Listen, Tony, when you do just one thing,
they do one thing and they do it really well. They've got like this pirate skull motif going on their billboard or their sign out front. It's the most ridiculous thing. It's clearly a converted some fast food restaurant. Like you can just tell. But yeah, I've stopped there a number of times.
Oh yeah, look at that. You know what? I think I stopped right next to there. Oh, I was like half a mile from there, man. I realized after I crossed. So I've traveled a lot this year,
Mm-hmm.
and what I did was I started getting these obnoxious magnets, like for Anna when I traveled.
Nice.
From each of the states I traveled to, because she specifically requested I not get them for her.
Mm.
So, you know,
Yep.
that's a sign that she clearly wanted them.
Yeah. Yeah. She's just trying to use reverse reverse psychology on you to get them.
So I got to damn near Metropolis, and I was like, I was coming back from Nashville, and I was like, oh god damn it, I didn't get a Kentucky magnet. So I had to turn around and go back. The Kentucky magnet's the best one, though.
Oh, yeah?
It's a beer can with sunglasses and a mullet.
Yep.
It's the best
tracks.
one.
That absolutely tracks. So, at the end of February, beginning of March, Holden is in another play.
Yeah.
The Laramie Project. Are you familiar? It's based on interviews that this dude and his group, it's like this theater group, went to Laramie, Wyoming, where Matthew Shepard was killed, and interviewed like 200 people. And they collected the interviews and wrote a play based on these interviews. It's interviews and other found media about the like the whole situation around Matthew Shepard being killed.
Sure.
8 people in the play, like 8 performers playing like 60 roles. Holden is in it playing multiple roles. I don't know exactly how many roles he's playing, but he's playing both of the kids who killed Matthew Shepard. Yeah.
Well,
yep. He said they went through their first read through and it was rough. It was like they didn't make it all the way through the first read through on that first night, just because everybody was real emotional about the whole thing. It's going to be dark.
Ooh, that is gonna be a tough.
Yep.
Oof.
Yeah, but it's I can wait for those kids to stretch their wings.
Yeah. Ooh, boy.
Yeah. All right. Let's get this going. Hey, this is Tony,
And this is David.
and we are the Backseat Producers. And tonight we're talking about Saltburn.
Taking TikTok by storm.
Oh boy, is it? You know what? I'm just gonna say we're gonna spoil this right from the jump because I don't think that I'm gonna be able to talk about this new movie and not spoil the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
yeah.
I didn't know anything about it going into it. I knew that it was being talked about a lot. Julie said she had seen memes where people were like on TikTok were like they're watching it and then like cringing, like you see the reaction shots of people like cringing. I had no idea what I was in for.
Yep. Same.
None. Uh, and we were probably about 45 minutes into the movie, and I turned around to Julie and I said, "This movie has just got this like creeping dread to it. And if he's not a fucking serial killer, I'm going to be really disappointed." And that was
Yep.
the comment I made about halfway through the movie. So what'd you think of this movie?
Well, I liked the movie because it was weird and dark. But this movie was real slow.
Those are all true facts. I enjoyed the movie. It was weird. It was
Mhm.
dark. I actually really liked I liked the writing.
Writing was good.
I liked the performances.
The performances were excellent.
It was slow.
Kid was fucking slow. It was glacial.
It was, but I kind of
It
liked that. Like
it fit the feel of the movie.
yeah, like there was this idea of the patience and the time that he was putting in, and the pacing of it really kind of lent itself to that.
Mhm.
So it's like that worked for me. Like Oliver's character, the character of Oliver,
Yeah.
uh, he was methodical
He was quite methodical. So I liked that
and
it
creepy as
opened.
fuck.
I like that too.
Yeah,
Because that guy's just got the face, like Barry's got the face for it.
he does.
He's got that creep face.
Yep.
Um, so I like that the movie opens with a frame, and the frame is I don't even remember why or what's happening, but he's being interviewed by someone, and I'm sure it happened. I'm sure they tell me what that is at the end of the movie, and I just didn't tie the two together. But he's like, I didn't love that guy. And so I like that they hung a lantern on that as like the complete opening of the movie,
Hmm.
so that like that's just the first impression you got from this dude, and so the rest of the movie is just a constant vacillation of, does he not love this guy? Does he love this guy? Like, is he just creepily obsessed with this dude
Right?
or not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't worry, I got my answer in the bathtub.
Apparently there's a candle that is Felix's bath
Oh, bath
candle.
scented. Oh, gross.
Yeah. 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 Yep.
I do have to give kudos to this movie for finding new ways for me to be like, oh, I hadn't known I would find that gross. Like if I'd ever thought about it, I would have found it gross. But
But
like
I never expected to see that on film.
I never expected to see it in the movie, and I do appreciate the novel ways that they made me feel gross.
I mean, there's probably niche porn that you would expect to see some of this stuff in.
I've been to a lot of niche porn places, Tony.
But
I
did you
don't
see any of this?
I didn't see any of that.
I mean,
Or the
I
later
feel like
grave fucking scene.
yeah, I feel like you'd have to look for some of it.
Mhm.
I mean, some
Oof.
of it you wouldn't have to look too hard for.
No.
Like, I'm a vampire.
Mhm.
Like, every time I thought, "Oh, that's the thing that everybody's cringing at."
Of the 3 big cringy things, that was the least cringy for me.
Yeah, I agree.
The bathwater was way fucking grosser.
Yes.
Just like
Yeah.
a million times
Yep.
grosser.
Yep. 100.
Bathwater, grave, vampire.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely with you on that. I
To a lesser
co-sign
extent,
that rating.
murders.
I mean, you expected those.
Yeah.
I mean, I did.
I'm desensitized to it in film.
Hey, Becca, just noticed you were commenting. Yeah, uh, I'm desensitized to murder in film as well. Even though for a minute there was some plausible deniability in that he was straight up murdering people. Like, uh, convincing them to kill themselves? Yeah, definitely.
What are you
Straight up
gonna do?
straight up
What are you
murdering
gonna do?
him?
What are you gonna do?
Maybe.
Mhm.
And then we see. I mean, then they flat out show it. I mean, there was there was no doubt
Mhm.
about the murdering by the end.
Yeah.
I wonder if there are people that didn't make it to the end.
Probably. I mean,
Probably.
I honestly don't think the movie was that fucked up. Like, from everything I saw on TikTok, it was like, this is gonna be the most fucked up thing I'd seen in a long time. And like the bathwater scene was gross, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. But like I think Parasite was more fucked up.
Yeah, probably.
Just
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how I mean, I'm sure that there's a level of subjecticism to that, but
Sure. I mean, it depends on what your lines of gross are. Some people, for some people it's like the body horror stuff. Um for this it was kind of taboo, fetishy, sexual. Like the stuff that was most fucked up was the stuff that was like the sexualization of things that generally are not sexualized.
like graves.
Yeah, bathwater. I mean, even menstrual blood. I mean, that's not something that people often sexualize in that way. But that's probably like of the three, that's probably the more common of them.
Yeah. I don't wanna say closest to the mainstream, but
I did not say that on purpose.
so it was good. I liked it. And one, I'm gonna watch like literally anything with Rosamund Pike in it
Yeah.
because
Mhm,
she was so goddamn good in Gone Girl
mhm.
that I don't care what she's in. I'm gonna watch it forever. What do you see over there?
I'm just looking at some of the trivia, just seeing if there's anything that's any interesting. Apparently, Barry approached the movie as if he were playing 5 different characters. He labeled each scene with Oliver 1, 2, 3, and so on based on which version of Oliver he should play at any given time.
It worked.
As part of the process, he wrote in 5 different moleskin notebooks detailing each of Oliver's motivations and mannerisms.
You know what? Man did his homework, and
he did. And like the Oscars, the Oscar nominations came out today.
Yeah.
Or yesterday. Yesterday.
I saw Ryan Gosling.
I have a lot of comments about all of that. And some of them will probably make me not very popular, but I was a little bit surprised that Barry Keoghan did not get some kind of a nomination for this. As weird and fucked up as it was.
Wait, he
didn't he? I don't think he did.
I just saw the.
Yeah, no, everybody's only talking about Barbie.
Come on.
No, he did not.
Damn. Full list of nominees.
No, let's see.
No.
Why is this in the wrong order? There it is. Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Coleman Domingo for Rustin, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. I have not seen any of those films yet. I want to see at least 3 of them.
I've only seen Oppenheimer. And if Cillian Murphy won, I'd be fine with it. He was real good at it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't think
good
this
at,
movie was.
He does, so.
I don't think this movie was nominated for anything.
That's actually kind of a shame. I feel like he should have gotten a best Oscar. Heck, we could have done without Bradley Cooper, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's.
Damn.
Yeah, no, it didn't get it for anything. Most of the other things I would say maybe not. The cinematography was kind of cool. Like they did some interesting stuff with that.
They did some interesting stuff with his penis.
They did. TikTok is having a blast with this movie. I like the. There was one. I think I might have sent it to you. The woman dancing around to the music, and she gave herself a large fake penis to dance around sporting. Yeah.
Listen, if you can't make it on your own, store-bought is just fine.
I think she made this. It wasn't, it didn't look, it looked crafted. It looked like it was a craft project.
You know what? I respect that.
Yep.
He did say that he wasn't nervous about being naked, but he was nervous about dancing.
Okay. Kudos to his acting because he didn't look nervous to be naked or to dance.
There was a lot of centripetal penile swinging. Which, you know what, I appreciate because, like, you don't really see dicks in motion in that way.
No.
And I do feel like the exploration of that was very novel.
Yeah. It's almost like when Baldur's Gate did their update,
Yeah,
they took Saltburn. They looked at Saltburn and was like, somebody was like, yeah, we need to up our game.
Yeah, we can do that.
Literally up our game.
So I like the themes of this movie because it's interesting to watch. So like if you kind of sit with the frame of I never loved him as your starting point, and you can watch all of these different things and all these different people he becomes, like to prove and disprove that he did or did not love this dude, like completely fabricates a background just to ingratiate himself, manipulates him into thinking that he's poor. It's like weirdly premeditated in a way that feels way more sinister than just I'm into this dude.
Yeah.
But also dudes are gonna dude, and this is stuff that dudes do.
Yeah. But he manipulated the situation down to putting a tack in the bike tire and like that was clever. That was a clever bit of
Uh-huh.
uh like
Misdirection, yeah.
it was very reminiscent of The Usual Suspects. Like I'm gonna lift the veil. Now that we know what happened, I'm gonna
Yeah.
show you all the work that I put in.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's basically a heist movie.
It is. It is. A very long con
Yeah.
that he plays out really well.
Mhm.
And I mean, I watched enough Leverage to know that you can't con somebody who isn't like a shitty person in some way anyway. And uh they showed that like everybody that he does terrible things to, they weren't good people to begin with. Romeo has words.
Ugh. Yeah, it's because the heat's on. There's plastic over the heat, so it sounds like a rainstorm in here.
Oh God.
Hey, you weren't invited because you never have anything interesting to say.
You see it? You see it is right there.
Oh, I see it. Oh, I clocked it earlier.
It went there specifically on purpose.
You stink. No. So I had my water on my table while they were doing all the work today. So even in my little plastic prison, later I've got this picture of where you can see all the dust that has accumulated around my water thing. Like I picked it up. It's like just like this. So I am just saturated with plaster dust. Romeo,
What did you think of the aspect ratio of this movie?
didn't even notice it was off.
Really?
Yeah.
It fucked with me. I watched it. Where did you watch it?
In my living room.
Okay, so on your TV?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I watched it on TV and I was like, I even was kind of bitching about it. Like, why is this movie shot this way? This is just wankery. And Julie said, well, like she looked it up because I just kept bitching about it. It's
Yeah.
like the director said that it gives you the impression of being off kilter. And I was like, yeah, it does. Like, I don't like this. The thing in the trivia said it gives the impression of peeping in.
All right, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older or what, but my brother was telling me he's he's like, well, if you stream anything, you're not seeing it in true 4K, and I was like, I don't even realize. Even if I was watching something in true 4K, I don't know that I would notice. Like the shift from HD, like I think was noticeable, but
Mhm.
now that we've gotten to HD, everything I've seen that's been more than HD, I'm like, if you
Yeah.
put these things side by side, I could probably point out the differences, but in the moment with nothing to compare it to, all looks the same to
Right.
me.
Yeah. 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 When we went from VHS to DVD, that was noticeable.
Yeah.
When we went from DVD to Blu-ray, that was noticeable. When you get a giant TV and you go from like HD to 4K, hey, you can see it, but you gotta have a big TV. Now they're talking 8K. Good for you, man.
Too much.
Too many Ks.
Too many Ks.
Once you get to 3Ks, that's too many.
Yeah, that's the K limit. Whoa. Whoa. 3Ks is too many Ks.
Absolutely.
Disband that. With 3Ks, you start becoming an ideology, and it's no good.
Too many Ks.
No good ideology.
Nope. Well, and your brother's right though, because even 4K doesn't mean shit next to film. You know, like it was funny because somebody made a comment years ago when 4K first started becoming a thing, and they're like, oh yeah, they're going to do a 4K mix of The Godfather or something, and they're like, how can you even have a 4K version of that? Like, how is that even possible? They didn't have the technology back then. It's like, because it was film. And it's even better than any of these digital resolutions. Doorknob.
I bought some vinyl at a concert I was at a couple weeks ago, and I want you to know I do not have a record player.
I
do not know why I own it.
I do. I got one right over there. We when my mother-in-law was still alive, she had a bunch of vinyl, and so I actually got her a USB record player because she wanted to take these old albums and put them into MP3. And because like they were old, like it was stuff that her dad had, like so Julie's grandfather. So I was like, fine, here. So after she passed away, like it's still sitting over there, never used. It's sitting right there, just never used. It's in my closet, but I've got it.
Now it's time for your vinyl collection. Billy Joel just came out with his first new song in however many years.
I know it's not out yet. Doesn't come out till the 1st. I went to go listen to it today, and it's like, oh, here's a teaser of it. I'm like, what? A teaser?
How the fuck you tease a 3-minute song?
Here's the thing. They do.
Oh, no.
It's like a 10-second video that you can watch on YouTube, and it shows him like tearing a page out of a lyric book.
Oh, geez,
and then his hands on a piano, and then it pans up to him, and then the screen goes black and says February 1st. And like he's playing music throughout it. And the music sounds great, but like, come on, man, just release it already.
Yeah. You know what I have been teased on? Did you watch that fucking trailer?
I have not watched it yet. Just before we started, I saw that it was available, and I did not get the chance to watch it yet.
Johnny looks so fucking good.
The stills of it I've seen look amazing.
So I think what they did in the trailer is they jammed it full of near shot for shot Last Airbender series stuff. And I'm pretty sure it's just the middle finger. Like, hey, this isn't going to be the Shyamalan movie. Like, here's all this very specific things from the show that we've done to stay very faithful to this work. And it's like very apparent that was the goal here. And Tony looks so fucking good. Oh, God, looks good.
Yeah.
God, it looks good. They also wisely do not have the dude playing Iroh speak.
Okay.
Because I would be judging it.
It's going to be.
I know. It could be great, though.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that dude do accents. It could be great.
We'll see. You know that Emerald Fennel, the person who wrote and directed Saltburn, played Midge in Barbie.
Yeah. I did know that. I did know that. Did you know that Michael Cera played Alan? That's my trivia.
Let's see. What else? See if there's anything.
I looked through the trivia and I didn't see anything that was wildly interesting to me.
The one thing that Julie told me earlier today, and it's verified now that I'm looking at the trivia, is that the graveyard scene was
Oh yeah,
improvised.
yeah.
Barry
Because he
said
improvised it,
everyone,
that's why he should have been nominated.
right? I
That's
mean,
nomination work.
he said everyone was silent after he improvised the graveyard scene. Quote, no one spoke for a bit.
Listen, when you're in the presence of greatness, you just stand back and let it breathe.
I'm waiting for the inevitable couples costumes.
Oh no. Oh. Oh
Oliver
no.
and a grave.
Oh. Oh. Well, at least some of those will just look like vampire couples. It'll be
That's
hard to
true.
determine if it's what we do in the shadows.
That's true. Um, I did see a headline because I looked on the internet to get the
The image.
the image, and so there was a bunch of article titles about this that popped up. So I was kind of browsing the article titles. Not really didn't really want to dig into them, and it's everything from this movie was brilliant to this movie was hot garbage, and um,
Standard internet fare.
yeah, yeah. The one thing that I did kind of that the article title drew me in was that this movie is Emerald Fennel's vampire movie. And I get it.
That's solid. That's
It's
solid.
not just for the I'm a vampire line,
Yeah,
but
no.
no, it's he is. Oliver
Yeah.
is he
They invite him in.
he's a leech. He worms his way into every aspect of the family and the life
There's a
and
lot of sex and manipulation in there.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm. Literal and figurative blood.
Yeah.
And then naked dancing.
And naked dancing.
Basically all the tropes of vampires.
Well, if what we do in the shadows taught me anything, yes.
God, I gotta get current.
It's it's really good. This season was really good. And it sounds like next season will be the last.
Well, I'm sure they'll do a prequel and then a spin-off and then
Just keep giving me Matt Berry and I'll be
yeah, actually I don't care what they do as long as Matt Berry's in it. I don't care. I watched that clip of him on Toast of London talking to Clem Fandango like once a fucking week.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
He's on a show called Toast of London and he does
Uh,
he plays an actor and he does a bunch of voiceover work because fucking Matt Berry. And so like the dudes in the voiceover studio always are fucking messing with him. And there's just one dude, and he's like, "My name is Clem Fandango." Like every time he talks to him, he's like, "Can you, Stephen? Can you hear me? It's Clem Fandango." And he's like, "Yeah, I fucking know who you are, Clem Fandango." It's so, it's so fucking funny. It's
I have to
so
look for that.
stupid, but it's so fucking funny.
We were watching we were flipping around and found an episode of Last Week Tonight,
Uh-huh.
and John Oliver's talking. I don't even remember what it was about, but uh, it was something about a train
Yeah.
and like Matt, like they do this. They break out into this little cartoon thing, and the train starts talking, and the train says like one line. I was like, "Wait, that's Matt
Yep,
Berry.
that's Matt Berry.
That's Matt Berry." And Julie's like, "What?" I was like, "No, that's Matt Berry."
Uh-huh.
She's
Yep.
like, "What are you talking about?" And then he dropped the F bomb, and I'm like, "Yes, that is Matt Berry. I know the way that man says the word fuck, and that's Matt Berry."
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing I really liked about the movie, the writing specifically, is I was fully sold on every person's motivation in this movie.
Yeah.
I did not. Sometimes you have somebody in there that just is doing dumb stuff for dumb reasons. I mean, people do dumb stuff for their own reasons all the time, and that's legit. Um, Everything that happened in this movie, like everything anyone did, felt real and earned, and
Uh-huh. Yeah. Like nothing seemed really out there.
no, there were out there things, but in context, it worked. It like what's her name? The friend, Rosamund Pike's friend.
Wasn't that oh God. That was Carrie Mulligan?
I think
That's not the character's name, but that's the chick who
so.
played her.
Yeah, actually, she's not showing up in the cast I'm looking at here.
Well, that's bullshit.
Well, I had to click onto the poor dear Pamela. That's actually the
Yeah.
credited character name. Yes, Pamela.
Boom, Carrie Mulligan.
Yep,
Bam!
nailed it.
This movie was rated higher on IMDb than Maestro.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I for a minute I wanted there to be a face-off with Duncan. I thought there might have ended up being a face-off between Oliver and Duncan at some point. Duncan
Mhm.
being the butler guy.
Oh yeah. The most disappointing thing is that guy just disappears
Yeah,
from the story.
yeah.
That's the most disappointing thing about the entire thing because
Because
that guy
that guy
was awesome.
he was fantastic. Like very few words spoken,
Hmm.
but man, the looks he gave were
But
spot on.
gravitas.
Oh man, the he acted with his face so hard. God damn, he was he was chewing up the scenery without opening his mouth. It was
He
really
acted
good.
with his face
He
and
did.
that rock hard ass. Yeah, I was disappointed there wasn't one of those either. I do just think, Tony, I watched this like a month ago. Memory's getting a little light on the specifics.
Yeah, no, you're right though. He did just kind of disappear at the end. Um, yeah, I don't know that I have a whole lot else to say about the movie.
A fascinating journey of discovery through love and desire.
Deceit. So much
Love and
deceit.
desire.
So
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I I
Uh-huh. Go on.
I finished it.
Uh-huh.
I finished
Yeah.
Blue Eye Samurai.
Uh-huh. Go on.
That was great. I
It was
really liked it.
the
Really liked
sleeper
it.
for me last year. Came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I was really surprised by it.
Me too. Because like one, like the story is not super original, but has enough original elements to it that you're like, "Oh, well, this is different."
I think after I was done with it, actually, I wasn't finished with it. I was watching the last episode, and something dawned on me about it, and it was they took every trope of the conquering white man or the whitewashing of a non-white character,
Mhm.
every trope that you could have with those, and they twisted it because the the white person coming in wasn't there to save them. Like he was there to conquer.
Yeah.
Um, the the half blood, mixed race, whatever they were calling her, um, her blue eyes were not a source of beauty, which a lot of times they'll take a
Mhm.
a person of color and give them light colored eyes or some other feature, straighten their hair, or,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
different things like that,
Mhm.
where and that makes them a point of interest and beauty,
Yeah.
and it elevates them, and the white eyes made her a pariah. So,
Mhm.
like, all that stuff was really cool.
Yeah. No, there was just a lot of good subtext to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice to hear Masioka again too. Yeah.
There was a lot of really interesting, voices that I heard
Mhm.
in, throughout,
Yeah, 'cause
uh
I think Randall Park was in there. I think there was a
oh,
Daniel Day Kim at some point.
I recognized Randall Park right away. He's got
Yeah.
a very distinct voice.
Mhm.
Um, let's see who else. Kenneth Branagh. I mean, of course.
Yeah.
I did recognize Ming Na Wen
Mm.
uh, as Madame Kaji.
Yeah. God, those sequences were so good too. Ugh.
There was a lot of really really good about the whole thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Just seeing if there was any other names that were standing out as I'm skimming the list.
And damn, it was pretty too.
It was gorgeous.
It was
It really
goddamn
was.
gorgeous.
The sound design on it was really good too. Like whenever she pulled that blade out or that
Mhm.
tapped that blade on it, like the
Yeah. Yeah.
sound,
Mhm.
the very distinct sound of the blade was really good.
I was just I think when Anna and I had talked about it, like one of the things that I was talking about was like they so in particular I think talking about like the first episode where she goes to that dojo and then she kicks a bunch of ass
Mhm.
at the dojo. Like there's a lot of animation that happens in that scene that does not need to be happening and that like a lesser show would not have gone because there's like she's in the hall, it's snowing outside, and so there's like a lot of complex weather happening outside, but the scene isn't outside. There's no part
No.
of the scene that's outside. Nothing in the outside matters. But it's like to complete the full ambiance of what's going on in the scene, they put a lot of work into that background detail, which they
Mhm.
did not need to do. And it's just like the little things like that all throughout. Just like the good little moments. Like when she's with her husband and then like it's the first time she actually fights with him, like you can just like the fucking realization on his face. And then as that whole thing collapses with her mom and him, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh god, there's some good stuff in there.
There really is.
Hmm.
I did not realize that Ringo was Masioka. That was good
Hmm.
because I loved Ringo.
Me too. And that
I
you know what that
I
character normally annoys the piss out of me, but like I just liked him a lot.
Yeah, he was just so joyous. He liked being where he was. And the things that I appreciated about him, like when she slapped that knife on his hand, it's like start with the kitchen knife. It was like, oh man, that's a nice touch. But then he kills that dude, and it's like, oh fuck, he killed
Oh
that
yeah.
dude.
Uh huh.
But he didn't like a lesser, more tropey version of that character would have like freaked out and been upset. I mean, he just kind of it stunned him. It gave
Uh huh.
him pause because like you could tell he saw the weight of what was happening. Did not, it didn't slow him down any. He
Yeah.
didn't back away from it.
Yeah, and like later, I think a lesser show or a lesser character wouldn't have done the whole, "Hey, yeah, I was with you, but I'm not like you're doing shit I don't approve of, and
Hmm.
like I'm out.
Right.
Like I'm done here. You're not who I thought you were. I'm out."
I know Ringo always knew what was going on,
Hmm.
and I like that Ringo got laid too.
I like it
Good
too.
for good for Ringo, man. That was great.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I loved it. I
Yeah.
am less enthused about a second season. I was kind of hoping they would just end it
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
not even do the other two white dudes. I'd have been fine with that.
Well, they're going to London.
I know that the show's built up some trust with me, but I'm very wary.
I know. I know. Because I don't want this turning into like Victorian steampunk-esque samurai bullshit.
Which is exactly what it's going to be.
I know, but
Which is exactly what it's
I
going to be.
really hope it doesn't go there. I'm just putting it out in the universe.
I was surprised with where it went to begin with, so maybe I'll be surprised again. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I am occasionally wrong.
And I like that for the most part, the looking at the cast, I don't see white people voicing these characters.
I mean, except for Brano,
Well, I mean,
the white dude.
the white
Oh,
dude
the
voicing a
white
white
dude.
yeah,
Yeah, the white dude.
that one I'm not really I don't really have a problem with.
That's right. You needed some Gilderoy Lockhart in your.
Huh. So the lead character Mizu, uh she is the Mrs. Smith in the new Mr. and Mrs. Smith series. I did not realize that.
I can't believe they're making a Mr. and Mrs. Smith series. I can't believe I know I'm going to watch it because Donald Glover is in it. It's
Right?
like a roller coaster.
I know. She's got an interesting mix of credits to her name.
She was the chicken Pen 15, right?
Yes. She was also apparently in 3 episodes of Obi-Wan. She played a character named Sully,
Sure.
but I'm not sure who Sully is.
I forgot about Obi-Wan instantly upon finishing Obi-Wan.
Oh, yeah, that's her. I wasn't sure for a minute if it was like it was actually her we were seeing or if she was voicing a droid or something since she does a
Oh,
lot of
sure.
voice work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Have you got any farther in Ted Lasso?
No, and I don't know how much further. I don't have a TV now.
Oh,
So
yeah, there's that.
yeah,
We're slowly making our way through it because Julie and I were watching it, and Pip kept like watching it over our shoulder and laughing. It's like,
you want to just sit down?
sit down and enjoy it. Like,
Yeah.
so now, like, all three of us watch it. It's one of the few shows that all three of us are watching. We're watching that. We're watching the Percy Jackson on Disney Plus, and Pip is giddily excited about that show because they read the book and everything, and was severely disappointed in the movies. But
Sorry, kid, get used to that.
yeah, the TV show is really good. We're really enjoying that. And apparently it's I haven't read the book, so I can't really speak to it, but from what they said, it's it's not a direct adaptation. Well, it's not a direct copy of the story of the book, but the things that they change make sense for the adaptation.
Sure, sure.
So, like, apparently one of the things, like, one of the things was the Rick Riordan who wrote it had the scene that happens on the arch and did the least research possible about the arch, and he knew that it was in St. Louis
Sure, yeah.
and it was at the riverfront.
Both true.
Those are both true. Nothing else about what he presented was true. Like, in his story, Percy falls or jumps or something out of or off of the arch and falls straight down into the water
No, one. How do you
because
anticipate that working?
because the arch, instead of being on the riverfront, he had it going over the river, like it was spanning the Mississippi River. It's like,
Yeah.
you did you did less than no research. How did
To be fair,
anybody let that go through?
I do think it would be cooler if that's how it was.
I don't disagree, but
So I do think we should just tear it down and start over. But it doesn't do that.
it was kind of cool driving home tonight with the fog. I drive right past it on the bridge. Couldn't see the top of it. Just full on couldn't see the top. Probably 50 feet of it.
All you non-St. Louis people, the arch is kind of boring. It's a pain in the ass to get up into because the elevators to get up there are goddamn tiny. So you're crammed in there with like 8 other people, and they also like stop and rotate like as you go up the arch.
Yeah,
One of those things, and the arch sways.
it does.
That's the least fun part.
So one of the really cool things is, like, they clearly didn't shoot in the arch or
Yeah.
but having been to the arch, having been to the museum under the arch, having ridden up in that little egg pod thing, whoever did the TV show version of the arch did all the research. Like, I've been in that little hallway room up there. Yeah, it all looked very true to being in the arch. Well, and they even had them riding in the little egg pod thing, and like, Julie's like, they had to have shot there. Look at how good that is, and I'm like, you've been in those little things.
Yeah.
Where
How are they
they
getting a camera in there?
get a camera in that thing? Yeah, but look at the movement of things outside. That's probably just green screen.
Yeah.
But you're right. It looks really great,
Can't fit 2 people in there. How are you get a camera in there?
right? All right. I don't know that I have anything else going on over here.
Yeah, me neither.
Let's call it. I say see Saltburn. It's good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I don't know that I'll. I think
Ever
if I ever
watch it
have,
again?
I don't know. I have a feeling that if I'll watch it again, I would watch it in a way like that's to examine the acting of Barry and to see if you can pick out the different mannerisms he uses for the different versions of himself that
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you have a colorful keyboard. Great.
I've been using this work keyboard for goddamn days, or like just the keyboard on my laptop for goddamn days, and I'm like, God, this keyboard sucks. And like, I moved all my living room furniture around. I had this keyboard like right behind me. I was like, oh, these keys actually press, like, because the flat keys on this laptop keyboard are no bueno.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't type fast with this.
Yeah, I get so used to typing on a real standard size keyboard that typing on a smaller keyboard throws me off.
Yep.
I get a lot of typing errors. Though I do kind of like my work laptop because I got like a full 17-inch.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
what
got
this
a full
is too.
size
Yeah.
keyboard. That helps. That helps.
Yeah, but the flat keys just I need a thick key.
Yeah.
Like my keyboard upstairs is like real thick with like the loud ass mechanical stuff.
Mm.
Oh, that's the good stuff.
Clack, 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 clack,
Yeah.
clack, clack,
Oh
clack.
yeah. Sounds like a machine gun.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff.
Yep. All right. We don't have
What was that other movie you wanted to watch?
anything. Oh, what was the name of that?
You told me to watch it, and I was like, okay, and then didn't.
Yeah, I know. Give me a second. I remember the people are blanking on the Irresistible.
Something irresistible.
Let's see if that's streaming anywhere.
Peacock free. I don't have that. Hulu premium subscription. I do have that. Mackenzie Davis, Rose Byrne, Steve Carell, Chris Hooper. Mackenzie Davis.
Yep. You can watch it free with ads on Peacock.
Ew, what? Tony ads? Topher Grace, Natasha Lyonne.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, what's going on here?
Written by Jon Stewart.
Well.
I think written and directed by Jon Stewart.
Well. Jon Stewart, yep.
Yep.
Irresistible. All right. Yeah, I'll get done.
All right, we'll do that next week.
Yeah, let's do that next week.
We will.
Fuck, I'm tired, Tony.
All right, we'll go to bed.
I got many miles to go before I can go to sleep tonight.
I don't. I just got to make sure my tablet's charged for Destinies. Getting a step closer to that Baba Yaga set.
You know how much I like a Baba Yaga.
Mm-hmm. The hut that walks. Certainly isn't Jabba.
He's the hut that glides. All right, let's be done with this.
Be done. See ya.